Good morning, Louisa. Lovely to meet you.
And you, Samantha. Lovely. Yes.
Good
Lovely
morning
to see you.
Well, indeed it is. Now, I wanted to ask you, Louisa, the video we've just seen little clips of. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
It's about my father, who is going to be 91 this year, born in 1930, a New Zealander, and he got a scholarship at the age of 19 to come and learn in England, and he came to London on a boat that took 4 weeks to come, and he was a raw little New Zealander he'd got a solo seal for the RAD scholarship, and he arrived, and within 4 weeks of training at the Royal Ballet School, he was selected by Dame Ninette de Valois to join the Sadler's Wells Theatre Company. So in a way, he's always regretted that he hadn't had a chance to actually learn more, but they needed boys, and he really loved it. And shortly after that, they went on a USA and Canada tour, and that picture there is of him, and it's got Dame Ninette de Valois and David Blair and Peggy Van Prague, who was the wonderful director there, and they went on a Sol Huroc tour, I think that was right, and they travelled all these wonderful theatres for 300 seaters, and bigger, of course they were, and huge places, doing Nutcracker and various Scheherazade ballets like that. And he came back, and then there's a picture of him meeting my mother in Festival Ballet, which he joined in about 1954. And that was a wonderful thing. And the picture there is when they went to Monaco, where they were performing at Princess Grace and Prince Rainier of Monaco, their wedding.
I see a wonderful picture of you, Louise, or I think it's you anyway, behind you. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Oh yeah, that was me in Cats. That was the old wig, actually. It became a shorter wig later on. I was in it for 1985 to 1986, 87 actually, and it was a terrific time. Yes, I played Tantamile and covered the Gumby Cat, which was a tapping role. Yeah, I loved it there.
So what was the expectation then, Louisa, of you, I guess, as a child of these wonderful dancers? Was there an expectation, do you think, for you to dance?
I think it was the only thing I loved, and the only thing I really was happy doing from the whole of my life. And my sister too, we both really went into theatre, although she became an actress and a producer. So I just don't think I mean, we had everything. We were a very poor family, but we never ever stopped loving the arts. We always went to see things. We were music was just part of our life. My father just loved music, and as a choreographer, he was a very good choreographer. And I think there was always the expectation that we would do something like that. I mean, we never were put off it. In fact, I laugh about the way they are, because my children now, they're teachers and an agent, and they're doing good things. And my parents always say to them, but why don't you just dance? Why don't you go on the stage? You should. It's just like the opposite from the normal life.
I know. Now, as a dancer and teacher myself, I've actually got a passion for choreography, and I picked up on the fact that your father not just was he a great dancer, but he did actually love choreography. Did he go further with that, Louisa?
He did, and I think in that little film too, there's pictures of him dancing with Jacqui Tallis in a choreography he made, a wonderful Messiaen piece for flute, which he called Blackbirds, and that was very well appreciated. It was a very successful ballet, and it was great in Harlequin Ballet. They gave him the opportunity to use his choreographic ability, which was fantastic.
And what about you? Where are you going forward with your choreography projects, considering we've been in probably one of the most challenging years to date? Where are you going forward this year with
it's been such a year, hasn't it? And even this morning I was thinking about the school we have with some wonderful students and adults too. And before the lockdown in 2019, I'd done a choreography with a composer, and we had a live performance with orchestra. Well, orchestra, it was a sort of quintet, about my great grandmother who shot Mussolini in the nose in 1928 when she was 50. She just out of nowhere, she went off to Italy to see a rally, and totally unexpected. She was, it was just totally, absolutely out of the blue. She seemed to take a revolver off with her assistant or whatever she was, her guardian. And so I did this ballet, and it was things are never quite right. Either you do them once and you think, I want to do it again. But because we had the whole lockdown, it's now that we're coming out of it that I'm starting to think we can perhaps start getting things together and recreating something like that.
So what do you enjoy? Now, I know that you're a member of the Silver Swan Sanctuary. What do you actually enjoy about meeting up with fellow dancers and teachers in that group?
That having the Silver Swan Sanctuary is just an amazing thing to have, and we meet online, and some of the people come from as far away as New Zealand and Australia, and it's absolutely incredible to meet up with people all having the love of teaching and working with adults, who often have not danced for years and years and years, or never have danced, but just have a love of movement and dance, and getting people together is just great, and sharing experiences. And it has been wonderful having you actually, Samantha, telling the story of the psychology of things, and how we can get through what has been a very, very difficult time for us. I mean, for everyone, but I do think for the older generation, it has been really hard not to be able to meet up, not just for the dance physicality, which is just fabulous, but the whole thing of socializing and seeing each other and dancing to music, because I just believe that. I do believe that exercise isn't just exercise, it's an art form. And I also think if music is part of it, it transcends it, and it just makes you feel so different.
And just before you leave, what tips have you got for adult dancers out there currently?
Well, I feel that with adult dancers, never stop. Even if you can't get to an actual class, keep music playing and move to it. I just feel it. Just said they were saying transcend word, but you move beyond the body, the limitations of the body. Like my father says in that little film, you can just keep moving and keep dancing, and all the material effects of life aren't so incredibly difficult. You can surmount them by dance and movement, and I believe in that.
Well, thank you, Louisa McAlpine. That was Louisa McAlpine talking about her wonderful, famous dancing family. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Samantha.